Hippie Fujoshi.
So I'm all caught up on, bear with me, I think it's called Que Vitas Domin. All I'm saying is I don't believe Hyun is a recessive Omega. He is not a recessive Omega. I don't care. How I'm feeling right now, it's no way that he can be around him and calm his crazy, psychotic, super bolic pheromones. Yisak is a hyper dominant alpha. You know, every time I look at a new Omegaverse, y'all be coming up with different ways of being a dominant Omega or an alpha. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm here for it. Another thing is, Hyun, you stuck. It's up and stuck, baby. This man, Yisak, is not letting Hyun go no damn where. Okay? Especially since he realized he's the cure to his problems. And the fact that he's drawn to the fact that he's a caring person. Also, the fact that I really do think low-key, even though in Hyun's mind, he thought that his twin brother was living the life. But it seemed like his twin brother may have been jealous of him, and that's why he ran away with his man and left him to deal with the marriage arrangement with this crazy bastard. But he's taking care of him. I'm not gonna lie. Like, he hasn't present no real psychotic type of, you know, like he pulled in the restaurant on his ass yet. So he seems to be treading real precautious with him. But I am so interested on how this pans out. Like I said, I think his twin brother was jealous of him. That you get an idea of what type of life Hyun's brother had when you get a piece of Yisak's life. How they put him up on a pedestal, but also see him as an object more so than a person. So you get an idea of what Hyun's brother may have experienced. But his brother's a little somewhat tweaked out like his ass is. But it seemed like his brother was a little bit jealous of his life. Like I said, that's probably why he took his man and left him to deal with the family shit and pose as his brother with Yisak. Now, Yisak know he's not a dominant Omega, but he also don't know he's a recessive Omega either. Okay? He does not know exactly what he is, but he's intrigued to know exactly what he is. Know what I'm saying? Because for some reason, he seems to be the only person that so far has not been crippled by his pheromones. And him liking him so much is purely off of him attracted to his parents and how nice he's treating him at the moment. So, I don't know. But I'm intrigued. It got my interest. Because I really want to know what he is. And if he's a recessive Omega and it works out that he's a perfect parent for him, I'll take it. But as of right now, I don't think so. I think he's misdiagnosed. Hyun he's misdiagnosed. It's something. Something ain't right. Something ain't right. But all I'm going to say is that comment and that shade he gave his brother, I understood. When the brother said it was nothing in this house that he owned, you can't tell an alpha who already got his Omega in his sights, in his auras, in his clutches, that he don't own nothing. And I get why he said because he's a beta, he wouldn't understand. And that's the truth. He doesn't understand the complex of how these two work. Now that they met and they have done the things that they did, there's no way in hell his brother's going to separate him from him. Baby. I'm into it. Oh my God. Chapter 10 of Que Vides Domin. Whoo, the pot of messy just got messier, okay? We see that Hyun, aka Puddles, and Yisak go meet his parents. And we also meet the auntie. And I'm sorry, even though auntie is serving Madam Cunt fish and Madam Cunt fish heavy, okay? Madam Cunt fish got a point. Everybody's a beta. Grandfather's a beta. Mama's a beta. Daddy's a beta. Brother Johan's a beta. How in the hell did y'all manifest a hyper dominant alpha like Yisak? And Auntie is throwing out jabs and shots that Yisak may not be genetically her nephew. And she kind of got a point. Like, where did he come from? All of you guys are betas. And I noticed that when Hyun, aka Puddles, found out that he was meeting the family, he got nervous because in the end, we didn't know whether his parents were betas or alphas or omegas. It just so happens that his brother was a beta and his grandfather was a beta. What are the chances that his parents were betas? And we find out that the parents are betas. So in hindsight, Hyun don't have to worry about Yisak family finding out he's a recessive omega, being that they're all betas. Hence why the brother didn't mind him going to the family events. Now this is all making sense. But baby, where did Yisak come from? Now, a part of me is feeling like, being that we don't know logically if Yisak is adopted, but it's on the table. Okay, it has sat its ass on the table, and maybe it's not leaving because it kind of makes sense. But from what we know, these people are his family genetically until further notice. But if said and did, these people are his parents, I'm feeling like there is a chance that if there is a chance that Yisak was born a dominant alpha or an alpha by chance, or if not, however we skin this cat, something in my mind is feeling like he may be a science experiment. It can possibly explain why his pheromones is just not in check without Hyun, aka Puddles. So I'm feeling like there's a chance that he may be an experiment that went right but also go wrong at the same time. And that is somewhat why he needed an omega by his side to regulate the experiment that has happened to him. As a possibility, just a thought. But the pivotal moment of chapter 10 is the fact that Puddles saved his man from a situation where he was being talked about as if he was an object. Like he wasn't even a person sitting there with his soon-to-be fiancé, soon-to-be husband. They were treating him as if he wasn't even human, and Hyun couldn't take it. So we see that Puddles, I'm sorry, I'm going to go in and out because this is just how it is, okay? Puddles scooped up his man and took him out of that situation because that was the best thing he felt that he could do. And we see that Yisak is very, very, very not aware of the concept of love and falling for someone, but he is aware of how he is feeling and how he's being drawn to Puddles, and how he verbally described in this moments how he wanted to devour and ravish Puddles in these very moments because he thought of him and how he was being talked about and how he could possibly be feeling in that moment is just chef's kiss. And Yisak is falling deeper and deeper into Puddles' love. And I I think he is on the level of Beyonce dangerously in love with Puddles. And I'm hoping nobody interfere with this connection, because this man, I think is going to go full Satan. I don't know. This chapter, star, star, this chapter wasn't long enough. You all right? It wasn't long enough. Baby, I don't know why they playing with Yisak. I don't know why they thought it was bright to kidnap Puddles to settle a score with this lethal fucking weapon of a man. And the fact that that gentleman kept saying dominant alpha versus dominant alpha, baby, he's a hyper dominant alpha. And how he cracked that man upside his skull with that ashtray. The fact that he fully couldn't get it out that they was going to try to have their way with Puddles after they handled him. Baby, it triggered. It triggered that match that was lit, that was ready for a motherfucking party. I can't wait for the next chapter, because I wonder how he's going to handle the rest of them, or are they just going to just let him know where Puddles is and just hopefully hope he spares them. But homeboy who got whopped with the ashtray, I don't know if he's going to be able to come back from that, because his eyes after... Why y'all play with Yisak? Like, you thought he was going... You thought this man was going to let you finish that statement that y'all was going to have y'all way with Puddles? I said I hope nobody plays with this man when it comes to Puddles. I said he was going to check out mentally and go full on psycho. And they played with this man. Well, I hope that this brother take this situation as a sign to not fuck with Puddles, but he also going to want to have a conversation with Puddles, because in this chapter, let's keep in mind, Yisak is very aware of Puddles meeting with his brother, and now he's curious on what they be talking about. Why the brother need to talk to Puddles so much? If Puddles is his fiance, why does his beta brother need to talk to Puddles like that? I hope he takes this as a warning. This man is not playing with Puddles, and oh my God, Hyun, if they find your motherfucking brother and try to switch y'all out with this man, oh my God. Whoo, sweet Jesus. I don't know how this is going to pan out, because he's obsessed. Puddles is his. This chapter, I need more. I need more. Where is his baby? The fact that the waitress staff snatched up Puddles and told him to wait there and ride out the party. I guess they thought he was a dominant alpha. And since they had a dominant alpha, it was like, okay, no, baby, he's a hyper dominant alpha. That man got cracked upside his head. Lord Jesus. Yisak about to turn that fucking party out. He about to fuck shit up, collect his honey, and dip. If you haven't checked out the recent chapter of Que Vidas Domen, go check it out. Because they fucking with Yisak. They done kidnapped Puddles. And he's just like, they done fucked up trying to say they trying to tap into the Niagara that he has claimed for himself. What's going on, Fujo? So the recent chapter of Que Vidas Domen. Okay. I'm glad one of my theories was right. Yisak is a science experiment, okay? That explains a lot of things. And the fact that his family just didn't do right by him and just look forward to all of the glory of him becoming a hyper-dominant will be for them financially was more important than being there for this child while he was being experimented on and slightly suffering. Because in all reality, we find out he really was sickly. He was born a beta, right? And it seems like from the story, I don't know if they started from before, like when he was in the, the egg percolating, or they started when he was born. But turning him into this hyper dominant alpha did affect him as a child. He was sickly. He was going through it. It looks like he had nosebleeds. He was just going through it. He needed a parent. He was a child. And he wasn't getting it. He wasn't even getting it from his brother. So it explains why he's a lunatic. And then also, we don't know what that experiment did to his mind. And also, we find out about them bozos bullying him for a whole year. And then he finally did something, which he permanently caused a few injuries, made a few people disabled. But I mean, come on now. You was bullying this man for a year. What the fuck you thought was going to happen? Okay? Now, I'm thinking after hearing this backstory, that's when Puddles was like, hold on, let me take it back. I'll probably give him a couple of more days because somewhat he is the victim in the situation, okay? But this is the part that got me with this chapter. When the brother explains to him after Puddles was like, bruh, your brother's a lunatic. Like, why y'all did not tell me the type of sickness y'all was talking about, okay? The part that gets me is when the brother gives Puddles the option that he can leave at any time he want to since they found the brother. I said to myself, and myself said, so y'all was just gonna keep an eye out on the brother, but since Puddles is working, you don't want to fix what's obviously not broken. So you was waiting for Yisak to get crazy with this man when he done had enough, and then you're like, okay, we'll switch you out. So we get an understanding now it's Puddles. It's on Puddles' terms on the switch out between him and his brother with Yisak. Now, on Yisak's end on this situation, Yisak's verbiage seemed like he ain't letting Puddles' ass go nowhere. With, not directly saying it, And Puddles was so fucking fed up. That tea was just coming out his mouth because he just didn't give a rat's ass. But the other part that took me out, this man is attracted to all facets, emotions that Puddles give. Because when Puddles started putting him in his place, he became more attractive. When he noticed his aggressive side, he became more attractive. Puddles, baby. This man is in love with the ambiance of you. I mean, I'm looking forward to this story on how it plays out. Honestly, I enjoyed that read. Him going off, talking to himself, just saying what the fuck, basically. Him finding out the truth, and I feel like him finding out that those guys bullied Yisak for a year. And like I said, Yisak would have been good had he had not come up with that stupid ass plan he was telling Homeboy to do. Because if Homeboy would have walked in and just saw you vindicated, you could have told him what happened. Puddles getting the backstory of those guys from the brother, to me, helped a lot with Yisak and him deciding to stay with Yisak. But I'm looking forward to the rest Puddles got to give, because I like this side of Puddles. He's just like, what the fuck? This is not what the fuck I signed up for. Where is my brother? I'm looking forward to see how this plays out. Guys, if you haven't checked out the recent chapter of Quay Vetus Do Men, I would tell you go check it out. Honestly, I feel like now that we know he's a science experiment and we know what he got going on, oh God, I'm looking forward to next Sunday, because I want to see. I mean, besides him and Puddles getting down for the good time, you know. But I want to see how this is going to play out.
Hippie Fujoshi, tuning let the whole world watch me. Learning, loving, laughing through the fields. She keep being real. She's the hippie with the drip, straight New York on the lips. Sage burning while she's scrolling through the sweetest little ships. Fresh tea, hot take, she gon' break it down clean. Be a glow in the